Hey guys, what's up? This is CG Stuff. Today I'm going to continue talking about references, but this time we're going to be using Mocap and something called Motorica.ai. Now, this is Motorica.ai, and what it is basically a website to generate mocap data from, well, parameters. So you can see here that I have this character, and he's running and suddenly stopping. And the way we do this is through this motion parameter, and it's very cool. Now, the idea is that I'm just going to get into it. Let's say I want him to consistently run without stopping. It's as simple as just I drag this and I animate, and that's it. I just have a simple run cycle. Now, why is this generally cool? The thing is that imagine you're doing motion matching. Motion matching, if you know in Unreal, is that where you have to build a database of animation, because in the latest sample for motion matching, you have to have at least 500 animation, and every time they're different. You have, let's say, strafe, like you have turn right, turn left, you have turn in place, you have stop turn, you have different variety of animation, and this is very nice to create this database. However, for the purpose of this video, I'm not here to talk about motion matching. It's a cool technical subject that you guys can look into. What I'm here to talk about is using mocap as reference. So you can see here that this is a very specific turn in place animation while he's running, and you can learn a lot from it. But the thing is, if you want to make a reference for that, you're going to have to film yourself doing this specific motion. And it can be a bit annoying where you have to go film yourself. You're going to have to get this specific video in Blender, and you're going to be looking specifically only at this angle. That's not moving, by the way. The thing is, if we have access to, let's say, mocap data, I can look at every single angle. I can look at the hip. I can look at the hip motion. I can look at the feet. I can make basically a motion path for any body part that I want and any angle. That's pretty cool in my opinion. Say I want, let's say, a straight, but I want him to start fast and then decelerate in the second part, even go back and reverse. Let me show you just the specific function. So you see, he starts fast if I play it, and then here he just slows down and then goes back and reverse. That's pretty cool. For my purpose, what I want is I just want him to, let's say, I want him to slow down, because I want this specific slowing down. I want that specific motion path. That's pretty cool. You can either also choose the duration, simulation type. I feel that kinematic is the most accurate. You can either choose the acceleration, deceleration, the turn behavior. You have a lot of parameters, and I feel that this is very cool. Turn style. You also have styles. Over here you have, like, let's say, cool guy, alerted. Let's check out alerted for a sec. And then he slows down, and you have like this alerted mode. To be completely honest, I feel that some of them are hit or miss. So if I hear and see, let's say, classic zombie, I feel that classic zombie is, it's not bad. It's pretty cool. But I'm not a big fan of the flailing hands. Let's check out something else. Giant. I feel that a giant should be like, slow moving, and then basically, if you want to do a giant, you're gonna have to like have this big scaly motion where basically each leg needs to be slow moving. But then again, that's up to us as animators to bring life to the animation. Not a big deal, but I'm just saying that you might not be a fan of all these styles, but they're there, and there's a lot of them. I'm just gonna for now stick to the normal male. I'm gonna animate. Okay, so basically the idea is, let's say I want to take and I want to check out this part and analyze the motion path, the hip motion, etc. You know what I mean? Because if you see, you also have, let's say, turn in place. Turn in place is very important for animation. If you want to build a library, understand how it's done. Now, I feel that the turn in place animation is one of the most important animations because, there's a lot of them in games and movies, stuff like that. And when you look at this one, you can start analyzing it in all angles. You can analyze the hip, the IKs, the chest. And when you get it into Blender and start looking at it and put motion paths, you get an idea of how to do it and start building your character and your base and start refining it for your character. Might be different characters, up to you. For my case, I'm going to go back to the straight run because I want to analyze this part, and I want to start putting the motion path on this stop. Okay, because let's say I want to take it as a reference. What I'm going to do is I need the animation and the character. Now, to get the animation, I'm just going to export. Okay, I already downloaded, but whatever, we'll download again. I'm going to save, and to get the character, you're going to have to download the latest Motorica character over here below the export. Just download. Okay, and that's it. Now we go to Blender, and I have an empty Blender scene. I'm going to go to my character. I'm just going to drag my character into the scene. Okay. And over here, you have to make sure that in armature, you have automatic bone orientation. This is very important. Now, when you import the character, you're going to have to see the orange character. I'm just going to keep it gray for now. And I'm going to move it to the side. We also need the animation. So I'm just going to drag also the animation. Same thing. Make sure that automatic bone orientation is on. Okay. And that's it. Now, you're gonna see that, okay, by mistake, I downloaded the in place one, but let me show you. The in place option is over here. In case you want an in place option, you can check that. However, I do not want the in place option, but that's there for you. I'm going to export again. Okay, and save, and I'm going to drag the not in place option. Okay, and export. Now you can see that we have now the one that's not in place. If I go zoom out, that's it. Now there's one thing that you might notice. If I look at this character, you can see that it's as if he's running in place, but not really. Why is this happening? It's because if I go to my armature, they're basically pretty much the same rig. You're gonna have to do something. If you go in edit mode, it's something very simple. Just select the bone called hip, not this one. I'm gonna hide it. If you move this, you can see that it's parented to the root bone. We don't want that. What we do is we simply click on the hip, Alt-P, and disconnect bone. That is it. Now, if I just unhide everything, I'm just gonna show bones. There you go. Now, if you just go to dope sheet and select your bones, your take, which is technically which one? Take 00. Let me just rename it to test. Okay. Yeah, if I go and select test and select my slot, you're going to notice the difference. I'm going to put them side by side. Now, after this small change, you can see that now the hip is actually moving as opposed to this one. Now, just do this on the rig and any animation you download will actually work. Now, again, we're not actually doing this for production. We're just doing this to actually analyze the reference. Now, what we do now is I'm going to take this back to the origin. And now what I do is I'm going to click on the hip, and now I'm going to start using this tool to analyze the motion path. I'm going to do a quick motion path, and you can see, there you go. And on the point where he's stopping, I got exactly what I want. I'm starting to analyze how it's working. I can do it on the feet. Let's say do another one. Let's say quick motion path. You can start basically as an animator understand how this stuff works, and you can start doing it for your own animation. Same thing for the hands. Let's say do another quick motion path, etc. You can see basically, like, let's say if you're struggling with like, oh, you know what, I want to see how my character moves and how he speeds up and decelerates. That's exactly how it is. Okay. Pretty much that's it. I hope you got some value from this video, and I hope I see you next time. Have a great day.